Hi, I'm Jay from RS Garage, and today I'm excited to introduce a part that we have to offer the Toyota 2JZ guys. It's a billet timing belt idler bracket. The factory idler bracket is prone to breaking, so we wanted to make a billet one that used both a bushed pivot point and got away from the OEM hardware. OEM hardware is offered in both 8mm wrenching and 13mm wrenching. And when you get a billet idler bracket and you pair it with that 13mm wrenching, you can have interference with the OEM water pump bolts, and then the idler can't go through its full range of motion. We wanted to eliminate that potential problem for you, so we're including a new ARP stainless bolt and washer. When you buy an idler bracket, you also get a billet belt stay with the mounting bolt for it. This bracket was designed and engineered here in the States by JTO Power. For those of you that follow JTO Power, you know that he makes some pretty extraordinary products. The guy is quite the wizard in fabrication and CNC work. Now I have this 94mm stroker 2JZ that's getting buttoned up here at the shop. So I'm going to walk you through the installation of the idler bracket, the idler pulley, and the billet belt stay. There's a few things you need to know before you put the idler bracket on the engine. The first thing is that this bolt isn't bent. So you want to put this bolt in a lathe or a drill and spin it, make sure it doesn't have any run out. And then this washer is behind the idler bracket, between the idler bracket and the oil pump. This is a specific washer. It's the only washer like this on the entire car. So you can't mix it up with another washer or you're going to run into problems. So you want to make sure the bolt is straight, you have the correct washer. You're going to put some blue Loctite on the threads that pass through the oil pump because this hole is open to the crankcase. So if you put it on without any sealant or Loctite, it's going to go ahead and leak oil out through the idler bracket hardware. So you don't want to deal with that. This bolt is torqued to 25 foot-pounds. So even though it's a fairly large bolt at 10mm 1.25, you're not going to torque it to the spec that you would a regular 10mm 1.25 bolt. It's just going to go to 25 foot-pounds. After you've torqued this bolt to 25 foot-pounds, you can check and make sure that your idler bracket goes for the full range of motion. It won't move this far in operation, but regardless, you want to make sure that it's not interfering with anything. These are OEM bolts. If you're using non-OEM hardware, make sure that you have enough clearance behind any billet tensioner and the water pump hardware. We're also going to apply some blue Loctite to our ARP stainless bolt and install the idler pulley. This bolt gets torqued to 24 foot-pounds, and if you're using a used idler pulley, you want to make sure that it is smooth and quiet. If the bearings are damaged inside here, it'll feel a little bit gritty when you spin it or make noise. This engine is also equipped with a PHR one-piece crank reluctor. The OEM part has the factory reluctor incorporated into the timing belt gear, and over time this can work itself loose and fall off, and this gear is responsible for telling the ECU where the crankshaft is in location. So that PHR one-piece gear alleviates any problems with this type of failure with the ring coming off. In the old days, we welded these two together, but in the modern world, you can just buy a PHR crank gear. The 2JZ is a pretty easy engine to time. You have marks on the cam gears and marks that are pinched into this plate behind holding the cam seals in. And then on the crankshaft, you have a mark on your reluctor and a mark on your oil pump. You line all that stuff up, and you're going to have tension on this side of the belt, and this side of the belt is going to be a bit floppy. Then you can install your hydraulic tensioner These bolts aren't very big. They're 8mm 1.25 and they get torqued to 20 foot-pounds. Now, when you pull the grenade pin out, that's going to allow the hydraulic tensioner to excite, and then you're going to do one more step. So you pull the grenade pin and then rotate the crankshaft in the direction of rotation. And what that's going to do is tighten this side of the belt and allow the hydraulic tensioner to be excited for the piston to start to compress against the belt. And if you use an aftermarket timing belt, this becomes even more critical. So as I just turn the engine, you can see very slight amount of movement as the plunger or piston starts to excite out of this hydraulic tensioner, and I can let it rest like that and it will go ahead and apply tension to the belt. Now we can install the belt stay. This is going to be torqued to 69 inch-pounds. It's a 6mm 1.0 bolt, so don't go ham on it because you'll end up tearing up some hardware. Now you can install your OEM guide washer, your timing covers, and get the engine back to running. Whether you're doing an engine rebuild or just servicing the timing belt, this part is available on our website. Thanks, I appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.